Welcome back to another Pokemon Market Monday, home of the OG weekly market updates, where every Monday morning we go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going up in price. And we do also cover any big Pokemon news like cards are set to get revealed. And we do have to do the question of the day. So for today's question, what is your guys' all-time favorite Pokemon collection box? So not a booster box, not an ETB, some sort of collection box. Let me know down below. We do have to give a big thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Metatcg. I did all the research and I found this the best possible website for you guys to sell your bulk or trade it in for some amazing Pokemon cards. They got a first edition Rocket's Mewtwo, first edition Dark Dragonite. They got some bangers, and they make it so easy to sell your cards. They even have a video showing you how to package up everything, and you just fill out exactly how many cards you have. They do have to be near mint. Doesn't have to be Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Magic. So definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. Then, of course, you're going to grade through PSA for your first time. Click my link in the description, use the code BEARD25, and you receive $25 off your very first submission, which is basically a free graded card. All right, let's jump into it. We have celebrations. So we got a little bit of movement on the ETB and Pokemon Center ETB and stuff, just slowly climbing. Was at like 225. Now that's sold 258, 259, 262, 273. So I have a feeling it's just going to keep slowly climbing until we hit that 30th. Next, we have the Pokemon Center ETB. Also climbing up. It was at 333. Now last sold 389, 400, 399, 388. A couple more at 400. And we got to check the UPC. Was at 902, went down to 815, and now last sold 850, 850, 880, 840, 858, 820 with a picture, and we do have one at $800 also with a picture. And we do have a couple more products for celebrations that is moving. The collector's chest, still slowly moving. Last sold for this one now, 140, 130, 142, 140, 125, 135. And then I also want to check the Charizard and Sylveon box. This thing is still just slowly climbing. Last sold 150, 133, 155. Ton of them right at 150. All right. Next, we have Evolving Skies. Booster box, still slowly going back up in price. Was at $21.85. Now last sold $25.50, $25.99, $25.50, $2,500. So basically back to about $2,400 to $2,500. And honestly, that is about it for Evolving Skies. There's a couple things up $1 or $2. Next, we have Crown Zenith. ETB, still going back up in price. Was at $225, went down to $198. Now last sold $231, $239. 229, 248. And we got to check the Pokemon Center ETB. This one I think is still technically going down in price a little bit. Yeah, so has not bounced back yet. Last sold 390, 360, 410. And the booster bundle market price 125. This one is still going up. This is at $109. Now last sold 139, 139, 135, 130, 122. So that one's getting pretty expensive. That's about it for Crown Zenith. Next, we have 151. Basically, every single product on this list is technically going up in price. We have the booster bundle, market price $108. We have the Sam's Club for Mini Tin. This was at $83. Now last sold 120, 132, 120, 125, 115. And we have the regular ETB right here, bouncing back. This was at 410, went down to 350. Now last sold 400, 399, 380, 410. And even the Zapdos collection box is going up in price. This was at $59. Now last sold pretty much all at $65. And we have the UPC technically going up in price. This was at $567. Now last sold $590, $590, $600, $694, $660, $625. Couple high sales there, and we still have to check the Pokemon Center ETB. So this box was at $959, went down to $825, and is just starting to bounce back right now. Last sold $808, $899, $840, $900, $900, $900, $850, and we even have a couple more. So the Alakazam box is getting pretty spendy. I love how small this box is too. So this was at $62. Now last sold 79, 79, 78, 66, 70. A couple more at 68. One low sale at 60. And I think that is about it for 151. Poster collection is up $4 or $5. And the mini tin display is actually doing work also. So this was at 302, dropped down to 266. Now that's sold $285, $297, $287, $278. It's almost back to $300. Next, we have the 151 Blooming Waters. This was at $170. Now last sold $193, $199, $200. Bunch of them at $195. Next, we have Prismatic Evolutions. So the SPC, same price as it was last week, market price $245. The ETB's up a couple dollars. So this got down to $111. Now last sold $135, $122, $125. And we also have the Premium Figure Collection, which I literally made an entire video about almost on my What If Wednesday, was at $118. Now last sold $133, $140, $125, $145. But the video was about that box versus the regular ETB, and I do have a feeling this box is going to do very, very good. The EV accessory pouch is up a couple dollars, market price $50, and the binder collection is also moving up in price a little bit, was at $67, now last sold $65, $75, $75, pretty much all at $75. Next, Destin Rivals. Booster box is still slowly going up in price, kind of crazy. Last sold now $428, $430, $420, 6 of them at $420, and we have one low sale, which is 2 days ago at $399, but the rest is pretty much all at $420. Next, we have the regular ETB. Look at that. This thing was $115. Now last sold $150, $149, $145, $150. Pretty much for a brand new set. That is just crazy. And the Pokemon Center ETB is up a couple dollars from last week. Got down to about $295. Now last sold $318, $340, $340. $307, $315, one low sale at $295, and that is about it for Destin Rivals. Next, we have the Scarlet and Violet base set booster box. This was at $218. Now last sold $265, $250, $255. Next, we have Silver Tempest. This was at $480, went down to $417. Now last sold $483, $484, $470, $460, $490. Next, we have the Chilling Rain booster box. This is at $552. Went down to $411. Now last sold $550, $575, $699. That's insane. But we do have a ton of sales at $575, which is still very high. Next, Brilliant Stars was at $490. Went down to $415. Now last sold $600, $598, $550, $585. Brilliant Stars finally getting some love. Next, Journey Together. This is just a regular one. Was at $260, went down to $222, and now last sold $248, $250, $260, $255. Next, we have the Twilight Masquerade booster box. Was at $309, went down to $266. Now last sold $307, $300, $315. Next, we have Surging Sparks. This box just keeps going up and down. Was at $265, went down to $219. Now last sold $260, $260, $264, $257. Next, Paradox Rift is coming up just a little bit though. Was at $271, got down to $235, back up to about $240, back down to about $235, and now last sold $250, $248, $233, $245. Next, we have the Team Rockets Moltres UPC, just going up in price a couple dollars. Last sold $199, $200, $199, $192. Still got to sell at $179 and $189. Next, we have the Charizard UPC. This was at $420, got down to $380, and now last sold $449, $410, $410, $395. Next, we have the Kanto Power Collection. This box has a ton of XY Evolution packs, 10 of them. There's a Dragonite and a Mewtwo, and this thing has gone crazy this last year. 1 year ago, it was $218. Now last sold $399, $484, $469, and $450. Not a ton of sales. You can get it shipped right now on TCG Player for $450. And then we have the Mewtwo box, almost the exact same price, literally just like $20, $30 more. We can get it shipped right now for $487, and last sold $450, $455, and $499. But yeah, I was moving some stuff around the other day and came across a few of them here. Totally forgot about them. Next, we have some cards. We have the Meowth from Phantasmal Flames, just up $1 or $2. Last sold now $15.30, $16, $13, $16, $17. And it was like an $11, $12 card. Next, we have the Bulbasaur Mega Evolution stamped promo. This was at about $12 at the low. Now last sold $15, $13, $14. There's literally like 200 illustration rares that are coming up in price right now. just a couple dollars like that. That's why I'm showing the more popular ones. The Articuno here from Journey Together was at 14. Now last sold 16, 18, 18, 15, 16. And then we have the Cresselia here. This thing just keeps going up. It was at about $16. Now last sold 28, 19, 21, 19, 19. Next, we have the Haunter. This is a promo, I think, in the Mega Gengar deck. Super cool card. I think that's where it came from. This was $19 and just going up in price a little bit right now. All last sold is 21 to 23. But I just feel like no one's really talked about this card, and I can see this card definitely shooting up in price. Next, we have the Drowsy. This card just keeps going up and down in price. Last sold for this one, $41. Otherwise, the rest of the sales are between $25 to $30. Next, we have the Psyduck from 151. This was $25 3 months ago. Now last sold $32, $29, $31, $33. One high sale at $42. Ooh, another one at $51. That's kind of crazy. Next, we have the Charmeleon from 151. This was in the 30s. Now last sold $49, $51, $45, $49, $47. Next, we have the Fuecoco from Paldea Evolved. This was at $29, dropped down to about $24, $25. Now last sold $29, $31, $27, $32. Most of them are at least at about $30. Next, we have the Squirtle from 151. This was at $43. Now last sold $49, $59, $65, $63, $55. Next, we have the Tyranitar, finally starting to come back up in price. This was at $70, dropped down to $50. Now last sold $61, $57, $57, $55, and $65. Next, we have the Squirtle from Stellar Crown. This was at $84, dropped down to $65. Now last sold $73, $72, $83, $70, $78. Next, we have the Groudon, bouncing back just like the T-Tar. This was at $95, dropped down to $69. Now last sold $73, $71, $75, $85. Next, we have the Magikarp. This was at $399, dropped down to about $245. Now last sold $245, $275, $272, $305, $235, $285. So it looks like you can still find this card every once in a while around $250. Next, we have the Gardevoir EX SIR. This is at $45. And now it's all about $50, so up about $5. Next, we have the Zapdos EX from 151. This was at literally about $95 and got down to about $62, $63, $64. Now that's sold $79, $69, $70, $79, $75. Next, we have the Charizard EX from 151. This got down to about $229. Now that's sold $245, $270, $245, $255. Next, we have the Mega Charizard X. This thing just keeps slowly going up in price. Got down to about $429. Now last sold $650, $675, $585, $573, $600. I had a feeling this is going to happen with this card. And then we have the Gold Mega Charizard X, also coming up in price. This was at $323. Now last sold $399, $395, $390. We got one low sale here at $331. And then we have the Pikachu VMAX Trainer Gallery from Lost Origin, was at 83, got down into the 60s. Now last sold 82, 85, 81, and 70 and 75. Next, we have the Charmander Scarlet and Violet promo. This was like $29. Now last sold 42, 49, 35, 35, 38. Next, we have the Mewtwo V Union cards. I love these things. Just in the last 6 months, it went from $28. Now last sold $39, $39, pretty much all at $39. Got a heavily played at $24. Next, we have the Mewtwo Illustration Rare. Got down to $24. Now last sold $31, $32, $29, $35. And we have the Pikachu Holiday Calendar card. This is a super cute Pikachu. I love how there's a couple more Pikachus up in the tree, but no one ever talks about these cards. This was $15. Now last sold $27, $26, $27, $35. Next, we have the Pikachu from Celebrations, which is basically a base set illustration rare reprint that no one ever noticed. Was at $5, got down to $281. Now last sold for $5.37. So we got 48 of them at $4.65. This card used to literally be 10-15 cents. Next, we have the Reshiram from Celebrations. This was at $14, dropped down to like $9-10. and now it's back up to $14 and $13. Next, we have the Blastoise. Venusaur is around the same price, 10, 11 bucks. Now that's sold for Blastoise 15, 12, 13, and 16. Next, we have the Shining Magikarp. This was at $35, got down to 23. Now last sold 41, 35, 41, 41, 40. Next, we have the Birthday Pikachu. This is at $21. Now last sold 28, 39, 29, 35, 33. And we have the Mega Rayquaza from Celebrations. This was at 47, went down to 26. Now last sold 45, 45, 28, 38. Next, we have the Gold Mew from Celebrations, just up a little bit. Was at like 40. Now last sold 49, 44, 55, and 53. And here is the Gold Star Umbreon from Celebrations, was at 82. Got down to 60. Now last sold 71, 69, 81, 73, 75. Next, we have the Charizard, and this was at $135, went down to $111. Now last sold 148, 149, 150, 155. Someone got 4 of them at $199. We got a couple more at 182, 165. This was like 120 bucks not too long ago. Next, we have the Gengar VMAX alternate art. Got down to 680. Now last sold. We got one at 650. Otherwise, the rest is at 718, 825, 734, 775, 700. We got one at $999. Next, we have the Umbreon VMAX, just coming up in price a little bit. Was at $1,755. Now last sold $1,700. We got a couple high ones at $1,978, $1,850, $1,755, and the rest were now a week or two ago. This card doesn't sell a ton on TCG Player, especially. I definitely don't recommend buying $2,000 cards with no pictures unless you're just a madman. Next, we have the Gold Snorlax from Chilling Reign. This was $80 6 months ago. Now last sold $94, $123, $104, $95, $100. Next, we have some Japanese cards. So here is the Charizard EX from Shiny Treasure. This was $156. This is the same Charizard as our Paldean Fates one. Now last sold $215, $180, $185, $190. Next, we have the Charizard EX from 151. This was $185. Now last sold $247, $245, $246. So honestly, Japanese is doing very, very good. Everything's holding super strong. Here's the Team Rocket's Mewtwo. Still just going up. Was that like $220, $230? Now last sold $275, $275, $250, $285. Next, we have the Terrestrial Festival EX Japanese Booster Box. This was at $100. Now last sold $115, $110, $129. Next, we have the Japanese 151 Booster Box. This was at $180 a couple months ago. Now last sold $211, $218, $210, a couple at $199. And also the Japanese Eevee Heroes Booster Box is up like $10 or $20, kind of in the mid 500s. And last on the list, we have the Pikachu with Gray Felt Hat in a 10. So this card got down to $1,300. And this is the second most graded card in Pokemon history besides that new McDonald's Pikachu card. So, like I said, $1,360. Now last sold $1,825. We do have one low sale here at $1,350. Otherwise, the rest is $1,900, $1,900, $1,900, $1,855, $1,680, $1,850, $1,800, $1,943. So yeah, definitely going back up in price. And the high for the last 6 months is $2,400, which is crazy. I personally would never spend over $1,000 on this card just because there is so many of them. It's technically not that super rare, but it is definitely a cool card. But all right, that was today's Pokemon Market Monday. If you guys like this content and want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. And if you guys want to support more, you guys can check out my Instagram, my TikTok, my Facebook, my YouTube membership, you know, the PSA link, my binder bound merch, all that. You guys know what to do. You guys are the best. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys want to watch my last Sunday video, which was a super, super good one, I did my top 10 tips and tricks for attending card shows, especially, you know, if you guys are new or anything like that, it's going to help a ton. But even if you go to card shows all the time, you'll still enjoy it and definitely find some tips that you guys did not really think of. So click this video here if you guys want to see that. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.